What's up, everybody? So in this video we're doing an FPS test for the game Marathon on a budget PC. By budget I mean pretty low end, basically a toaster. So my GPU is a GTX 970 and my CPU is an i7-6700. Pretty outdated, so let's see how this game runs on it. So we loaded into the map and right away I'm like, okay, I don't think my computer is going to run this game very well. Everything looks pretty grainy, pretty fuzzy, but we haven't set any video settings yet, so hopefully it'll get better. So let's go through the settings and see what we can change, what we can adjust to hopefully get more frames and maybe make the game look a little bit better. So we're going to turn on the FPS display, and as you can see I already have my NVIDIA stats displayed, and normally you wouldn't see that, but for some reason OBS would not capture this game as a game capture, so I had to capture it as a display capture just to record the game. Alright, just going through some settings here, trying to find a good balance between video quality and frame rate. Normally on this computer I'm happy with at least 60 frames. As long as the game looks good. There are some games that I can't even play where there's no balance, I don't get any frames, and the game just looks like crap. So I'm really hopeful that this game I can find a decent balance. If you run a lower end PC like this one, then you're well experienced with what I'm talking about. This graphics card has held up surprisingly well for me over the years. It's allowed me to play a lot of games at a decent frame rate. Let's try these current settings to see what the game looks like. Okay, it looks like high 60s, maybe low 70s at this point, but the game does look a little fuzzy still. Let's see if we can sacrifice some frames, maybe get a little bit better visuals. So I also set this game to high priority. You can do that while the game's running by going into Task Manager, Details tab, right-clicking on the executable, and setting it to high priority. So again, still a little fuzzy. We still need to tweak a couple settings. Hopefully we can find something that we're happy with. So we're going to try turning VSync on. Normally I don't recommend that for any game, but we're just testing settings here. So maybe it'll help us, maybe it won't. We can always turn it back off. So now you're seeing mid to high 70s. I think we even hit 80 frames at one point, which is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. But unfortunately everything still looks pretty grainy, so we got some work to do. We're going to try putting the resolution scaling on balanced as opposed to performance or ultra performance, and we'll see how that affects anything. Looks like the frame rate's jumping from mid 50s to high 60s. The game looks okay. I think we can make it look better. We'll try putting the texture quality to medium and seeing what that does. Okay, everything seems to look better. We're bordering 60 frames, so we'll see how it plays on an open map. Gameplay seems to be pretty smooth, so let's go out into the map and we'll see how the frame rate does in a bigger open area, and we'll see what it does also in any kind of confrontations, any kind of fights where there's a lot of visual noise. Looks like it's staying around mid 50 to low 60 frames. The game looks good and it's running smooth, so I'm pretty happy with where it's at now. Obviously I could get more frames if I put the resolution scaling back to performance or texture quality back down to low. So this part at the end of the little tutorial area, there's rain going on, there's a lot going on, and the game still looks okay. We're still sitting around mid 50s frames. So I'm okay with that at this moment because the game feels good and visually it doesn't look terrible. And as you can see, we're dropping into the mid 40s whenever there's a gunfight or a decent amount of visual noise. This game's kind of weird because it's incredibly smooth. So even at a lower frame rate, it doesn't feel like it. There's no stuttering. Everything seems to be happening the way it's supposed to happen, even at a lower frame rate. So it doesn't really bother me all that much. But that's up to you. You know, that could be all. That's all subjective. Obviously, with some more tweaking, we could get better frames. You saw it was pushing 80, but I like to find a balance in between good graphics and decent frames, at least good enough. If this game was stuttering or if there was any issues with the gameplay, I would definitely look for more frames. But at this point, I feel like we're good. You know, I feel like I could play this game and have some fun playing it. All right, let's load into an actual map and see exactly how the game looks. If the frame rate changes, you know, sometimes on a bigger map you could lose frames or it'll just look worse. So we'll see what's going on.
Assert, you are a winner. Assert, you can do it.
So yeah, it looks like mid to high 50s, sometimes low 60s. Is that going to put us at a disadvantage? Yeah, but anybody who has a budget PC is already used to being at a disadvantage, so that's nothing new. So here I went to exfil after doing some looting, and as you can see I'm on very low health, so I just wanted to get out of here, and I had no idea that they were just going to drop a bunch of robots on my head. But luckily it was bots and not real players, and we were able to exfil, even though we were knocked. So here's my vault after playing for a couple hours. I'm actually pretty impressed with how this game runs, how smooth it is, especially at a low frame rate. It's very playable and very enjoyable. I had a lot of fun playing it. Like I said, we're definitely at a disadvantage, but we always are, so that's nothing new. Will I buy this game? I don't know. I can't see myself spending 40 bucks on a game that I won't play all that much. I'm just having fun with it right now, that it's free during the server slam. But let me know your thoughts on the game and how it runs on your PC. Alright, see you later.